The shatter of fine china echoed through the dining room as Emily's fork clattered to the floor, her mother's face twisting into a mask of horror. "You're what?" her father bellowed, his voice a thunderclap that silenced the post-Easter chatter, the scent of honey glazed ham turning sour in the air. In that frozen moment, Emily knew her world had cracked irreparably. The love she'd confessed not a bridge but a bomb. Emily Thompson had always known the weight of secrets in a town like Willow Creek, Nebraska, where cornfields stretched like golden promises under endless skies, but families guarded their reputations like heirloom silver. It was Easter Sunday, 2005, and the Thompson house buzzed with the familiar rhythm of holiday rituals, her mother's prized deviled eggs, her father's booming laughter over football recaps, and her siblings' kids scampering underfoot. Emily, at 22, fresh from college in Lincoln, had returned with a knot in her stomach, determined to unveil the truth that had gnawed at her for years. She'd met Sarah during her sophomore year, in a literature class dissecting Whitman's Leaves of Grass. Sarah, with her wild auburn curls and eyes like storm-tossed seas, had quoted lines about embracing contradictions, and Emily felt seen for the first time. Their friendship bloomed into something deeper, stolen kisses in dorm rooms, whispered promises under starlit campus walks. But back home, Willow Creek's conservative heartbeat pulsed with church steeples and pickup trucks emblazoned with patriotic stickers, leaving no room for such love. As dessert was served, her aunt's famous pecan pie dripping with caramel, Emily's resolve hardened. "Mom, Dad, everyone," she began, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. "I need to tell you something important. I'm gay. And I'm in love with a woman named Sarah." The room imploded. Her mother's gasp was a dagger, her father's face reddening like a summer sunset gone wrong. "This is a joke, right? Some college phase?" he demanded, slamming his fist on the table, rattling the crystal glasses. Her older brother Mark averted his eyes, while her sister Lisa whispered harshly to her husband. Aunt Clara, the family matriarch, clutched her cross necklace as if warding off evil. "You're not welcome here if that's how you're choosing to live," her father declared, his words slicing through the air like a harvest scythe. "We raised you better than this perversion." Emily's pleas fell on deaf ears. Tears streamed down her face as she was ushered out, the door slamming behind her with finality. She drove away in her beat-up Honda, the rearview mirror framing the house shrinking into oblivion, her heart a wreckage of betrayal. Years blurred into a tapestry of survival. Emily fled to San Francisco, the city's fog-shrouded hills a stark contrast to Nebraska's flat expanse. She waitressed at a cozy cafe in the Castro, where rainbow flags fluttered like defiant banners. Sarah joined her soon after, their love a sanctuary amid the chaos. They built a life, shared apartments, weekend hikes in Muir Woods, dreams of a future unbound by judgment. But the wound festered. Letters to her family went unanswered. Calls were met with cold silence. Emily threw herself into work, climbing from barista to manager, then opening her own bakery, Heart's Hearth, specializing in artisanal breads infused with herbs from her rooftop garden. Success tasted bittersweet without family to share it. Sarah, ever the anchor, proposed on a crisp autumn evening atop Twin Peaks, the city lights twinkling like fallen stars. "We're family now," she whispered, slipping a simple gold band on Emily's finger. Their wedding was intimate, surrounded by chosen kin, friends who'd become sisters, mentors who'd filled parental voids. Yet, in quiet moments, Emily stared at old photos, wondering if reconciliation was a fool's hope. News from Willow Creek trickled in via sporadic emails from a cousin. Her father had suffered a heart attack. Her mother battled loneliness in an empty nest. Mark's marriage crumbled under undisclosed strains, and Lisa's perfect life masked hidden sorrows. Emily's success stories in food magazines reached them, a silent testament to her resilience. One rainy afternoon in 2015, a letter arrived, postmarked Nebraska. Her mother's handwriting frail and looping. "Emily, it's been too long. Your father is gone. Please come home." The words ignited a storm within, anger, grief, longing. Sarah urged her to go, to seek closure. "You deserve to face them," she said, her hand warm on Emily's back. The drive back was a pilgrimage through memory lanes, highways cutting through fields where she'd once dreamed of escape. Willow Creek hadn't changed much. The diner still served greasy burgers, the church bell tolled predictably. But Emily had. She pulled up to the family home, now weathered, its porch swing creaking in the wind. Her mother opened the door, eyes widening. Emily. The embrace was tentative, laced with years of unspoken regret. Inside, the house smelled of mothballs and faded lavender. Mark and Lisa arrived soon after. Their greetings awkward, hugs stiff. Dinner was a minefield. Over pot roast and mashed potatoes, old wounds reopened. We were scared, her mother admitted, tears glistening. The town, the church, they'd have shunned us all. Mark confessed his own secrets. A divorce born of hidden addictions. Lisa revealed infertility struggles that had isolated her. Emily listened, her heart softening yet guarded. You threw me out like yesterday's trash, she said, voice cracking. I built a life without you, but it hurt every day. The conversation stretched into the night, revelations peeling back layers of pain. As dawn broke, Emily felt a shift. Not full forgiveness, but a fragile bridge. She invited them to visit San Francisco to meet Sarah. Family isn't just blood, she said. It's choice. They nodded, eyes hopeful. Back in the city, Emily baked a loaf infused with rosemary for remembrance. Sarah held her as she wept, the aroma filling their home like a promise of healing. The invitation hung in the air like a delicate truce, but Emily knew bridges could crumble under weight. Months passed before her family accepted, booking flights to San Francisco with hesitant enthusiasm. Mark arrived first, his suitcase battered like his spirit, confessing over airport coffee that he'd hit rock bottom after the divorce. I envied your courage, he admitted, eyes downcast. I hid my problems, you faced yours head-on. Lisa and her husband followed, her face etched with lines Emily didn't remember. Their mother, frail but determined, clutched a photo album like a talisman. The reunion at Heart's Hearth was surreal. The bakery's warm lights casting golden hues on familiar faces, now strangers in her world. Sarah greeted them with grace, her smile a beacon. Welcome, she said, offering fresh scones drizzled with honey. The family toured the space, admiring the exposed brick walls adorned with local art, the aroma of cinnamon rolls weaving through conversations. Dinner that night at their loft overlooked the bay, twinkling lights mirroring the stars. Emily prepared a feast, roasted chicken with herbs from her garden, salads bursting with California freshness. As they sat, tension simmered beneath polite chatter. I read about your bakery in that magazine, her mother said, voice soft. We're proud, Emily. Truly. The words landed like rain on parched soil, but Emily probed deeper. Proud now? After years of silence. Lisa shifted uncomfortably. We were wrong. The church shaped us. But losing Dad made us question everything. Mark nodded, sharing his recovery journey, AA meetings in Omaha where he'd learned vulnerability. Sarah interjected gently. Love isn't a sin. It's what binds us. Her words hung, challenging yet compassionate. Emily watched her family's faces, regret flickering like candlelight. The evening deepened into confessions. Her mother revealed letters she'd written but never sent, hidden in a drawer with Emily's childhood drawings. I was afraid, she whispered. Afraid of losing you forever. Emily's anger thawed, replaced by empathy. I lost you too, she replied, tears flowing. Hugs followed, tentative at first, then fierce. They lingered late, sharing stories of missed milestones. Emily's wedding, births, deaths. The visit extended, walks along the Embarcadero where sea lions bark symphonies, visits to Golden Gate Park's blooming gardens. Bonds mended stitch by stitch. Mark found solace in the city's anonymity, vowing to visit more. Lisa confided dreams of adoption, inspired by Emily's chosen family. Yet shadows loomed. Back in Willow Creek, whispers spread. Neighbors clucking about the prodigal daughter and her lifestyle. Aunt Clara, ever the sentinel, called Emily's mother, voice laced with venom. You're condoning sin. What would your husband say? The call shattered the fragile peace. Her mother wavered, doubts creeping in like fog. Maybe we rushed this, she confided to Emily over the phone after returning home. The town. It's hard. Emily's heart clenched. Mom chose love over fear. But the line went silent, weeks turning to months without response. Sarah held her through sleepless nights, reminding her of their strength. Then a bombshell. Lisa's email frantic. Mark relapsed. Blames the family pressure. Aunt Clara's stirring trouble, saying we're betraying our roots. Emily flew back, determination stealing her spine. Confronting Aunt Clara at the church social, she stood tall. Love isn't betrayal. Hatred is. The room hushed, eyes wide. Her words rippled, dividing the town. Some nodded in quiet support. Others turned away. Mark in rehab called her a hero. You saved me by example. Reconciliation teetered. Her mother, torn, chose sides at a family gathering. Emily's right, she declared, voice firm. Family means acceptance. Aunt Clara stormed out, but the rift healed others. Emily returned to San Francisco, heart fuller, knowing change was incremental. Years later, at a milestone anniversary, her family gathered in the bakery. Toasts raised to forgiveness, laughter echoing. Emily served pie, not pecan but apple, symbolizing new beginnings. They swallowed the truth, digesting love's complexity. The anniversary celebration marked a decade since Emily and Sarah's wedding. The bakery transformed into a haven of twinkling fairy lights and blooming wildflowers sourced from local farms. Guests mingled, old friends from the Castro, new allies from Willow Creek. Her mother arrived with homemade jam, a peace offering wrapped in gingham. Mark, sober and steady, brought his new partner, a kind-eyed teacher named Alex. Lisa, beaming, cradled her adopted daughter, a toddler with curls reminiscent of Sarah's. As champagne flowed, Emily reflected on the jagged path. The initial rejection had been a crucible, forging her into someone unbreakable. Yet, the drama of reconnection brought its own tempests, betrayals not from malice, but fear's insidious grip. Flashbacks haunted her. The Easter fallout, her solitary drive into uncertainty. In San Francisco, early days were raw, nights sobbing into Sarah's arms, days faking smiles for customers. Success came hard-won, each loaf a testament to resilience. Now, watching her family interact with Sarah, laughter genuine, Emily felt a swell of emotion. To second chances, she toasted, voice thick. Glasses clinked, eyes meeting in silent apologies. But drama lurked. Aunt Clara, uninvited but undeterred, appeared at the door, face thunderous. This is an abomination, she hissed, drawing stares. Emily's mother stepped forward. Leave, Clara. You're not welcome. The confrontation escalated, Clara spewing venom about traditional values. Mark intervened. Tradition without heart is empty. She fled, but the incident stirred old wounds. Later, in the quiet kitchen, Emily confronted her mother. Why did it take so long? Tears fell. I was blind, her mother admitted. Losing your father opened my eyes. He regretted it too, you know. Whispered your name in his last days. The revelation hit like a wave. Grief mingled with relief. Emily embraced her, forgiveness blooming. Sarah joined, her presence a balm. Life resumed its rhythm but with deeper hues. Emily expanded the bakery, franchising to Omaha, bridging coasts. Family visits became routine, holidays in California sun, summers in Nebraska fields. Yet conflict arose anew. Lisa's husband, traditional at heart, struggled with acceptance, confiding doubts that strained their marriage. I love you, Em, but it's hard, he admitted during a visit. Emily's response was measured. Love evolves. Give it time. Sarah, ever empathetic, shared stories of her own family's journey, fostering understanding. Mark's relapse scare had been a wake-up. Now thriving, he advocated for LGBTQ+ rights in Willow Creek, facing backlash but gaining allies. You inspired me, he told Emily. The true high point came at a town festival, Emily invited as guest speaker. Standing on the stage where she'd once watched parades as a child, she shared her story. Love isn't chosen, it's felt. Rejection scars but forgiveness heals. Applause mixed with murmurs, but her family's front row support was unwavering. Aunt Clara watched from afar, expression softening, perhaps a seed planted. Back home, Emily and Sarah dreamed of adoption, their love a foundation strong enough for more. Challenges persisted, societal shifts slow in rural hearts, but hope prevailed. In quiet evenings, Emily baked, infusing dough with memories. The aroma carried whispers of past pains, transformed into nourishment. Family once fractured, now whole in its imperfections. As seasons turned, Emily's life wove new threads of complexity. The bakery's expansion brought acclaim. a feature in the New York Times food section, praising her soul-infused pastries. Yet, success amplified echoes of the past. Anonymous letters arrived, postmarked Willow Creek laced with hate. Go back to your Sin City. Sarah dismissed them as relics, but Emily felt the sting. It's Aunt Clara, she suspected, voice trembling. Confrontation brewed during a family Thanksgiving in Nebraska, the table laden with turkey and tension. Clara attended, invited by habit. Over stuffing and gravy, barbs flew. Your lifestyle is poisoning the family, she accused. Emily's mother snapped. Enough. Emily's love is pure. The argument peaked, Clara revealing she'd orchestrated the shunning years ago, pressuring Emily's parents. For the family's sake, she claimed. Betrayal hit hard. Emily's father had confided regrets to Clara, who twisted them. You're the poison, Emily retorted, voice steady. Hate disguised as piety. Clara left in tears, the family reeling. Healing followed in waves. Emily's mother apologized profusely. We were weak. Mark and Lisa rallied, cutting ties with Clara. The incident deepened bonds. Christmas in San Francisco was magical, lights on Lombard Street, carols in Union Square. They exchanged gifts. Emily gave her mother a locket with photos of them together, past and present. Romance flourished amid drama. Sarah surprised Emily with a vow renewal on a Mendocino cliff, waves crashing below. Through storms and sun, you're my anchor, Sarah whispered. Family witnessed, tears flowing. But life's cruelty struck. Emily's mother diagnosed with early dementia. The news shattered, prompting Emily to relocate temporarily to Willow Creek, Sarah by her side. Caring for her mother unearthed buried emotions. Late nights, reminiscing over albums, her mother confessed, I dreamed of your wedding. Regret it wasn't with us. Emily soothed. We're here now. Sarah's presence eased burdens, her humor lightening dark days. Community shifted. Neighbors offered casseroles, some apologizing for past silences. Mark moved back, helping with care. Lisa visited often, her daughter bringing joy. High drama came when Clara, isolated, sought reconciliation. At a hospice-like gathering, she arrived humbled. I was wrong. Fear ruled me. Emily, heart heavy, extended grace. Forgiveness isn't easy, but it's necessary. They talked, tears bridging divides. As her mother's condition worsened, Emily cherished moments. Stories of her childhood, laughter over mishaps. You were always my brave one, her mother murmured. The end came peacefully, surrounded by love. At the funeral, Emily eulogized. She taught me resilience, even in error. Love wins. Grief bonded them further. Emily returned to San Francisco, bakery thriving, but carried Nebraska's soil in her soul. Years later, adopting a daughter named Hope, Emily and Sarah completed their circle. Family gathered for the homecoming, toasts to legacy. In the bakery, Emily served a special meal, a fusion of Midwestern comfort and coastal flair. They savored it, the meal they couldn't swallow, now a metaphor for swallowed pride, digested truths. Humanity prevailed. Love's tapestry rich with scars and stars. With Hope's laughter echoing through the loft, Emily's world expanded into realms of uncharted joy and quiet reflection. The little girl, with eyes wide as oceans, brought a freshness that softened the edges of old scars. Sarah, ever the nurturing force, read bedtime stories of brave princesses who loved freely, instilling lessons early. Family visits became pilgrimages of connection. Mark, now a counselor in Omaha, shared triumphs over addiction, crediting Emily's example. You showed me vulnerability as strength, he said during a summer barbecue, grill smoke curling like memories. Lisa's family grew too. An adopted son joining her daughter, their home a hub of chaos and love. We're redefining family, she told Emily over video calls, screens bridging miles. Aunt Clara's transformation was slow but profound. After years of solitude, she volunteered at a local LGBTQ+ center, her atonement tangible. At a reunion, she hugged Emily tightly. Thank you for showing me grace. Emily's bakery empire grew, with branches in Lincoln and Denver, each infused with her story. She authored a memoir, Baked with Love from Exile to Embrace, topping bestseller lists. Interviews revealed her journey. Easter's pain, years of silence, redemption's sweet taste. Drama resurfaced in subtle forms. Media scrutiny brought trolls, but Emily stood firm, advocating for acceptance. Love isn't political, it's human, she declared on podcasts. Sarah's career as a teacher flourished, shaping young minds in inclusive classrooms. Their partnership, tested by time, deepened. Anniversaries marked with quiet escapes to Big Sur, where cliffs met sea in eternal embrace. Hope's questions about heritage prompted stories. Why did Grandma kick you out? She'd ask innocently. Emily explained gently. Fear blinded her, but love opened her eyes. The climax of their saga unfolded at a National Family Equality Conference in Washington, D.C. Emily keynote. Family in attendance. Sharing the stage, she recounted betrayals and triumphs, voice resonant. We serve truth not for revenge but revelation. Applause thundered. Her mother honored posthumously in dedications. Backstage, tears and hugs sealed bonds. Life's rhythm settled into harmony. Holidays alternated coasts, Thanksgivings in Nebraska snow, Christmases in California sun. Emily baked traditions anew. Pies with secrets of forgiveness baked in. In twilight years, Emily and Sarah retired to a coastal cottage, garden blooming with herbs and memories. Hope, grown, carried the torch, activist, artist embodying their legacy. Reflecting on the Easter that shattered everything, Emily saw it as the seed of growth. Pain forges beauty, she told Sarah, hands entwined. The family gathered one last time for Emily's 80th birthday, tables groaning with feasts. Stories flowed, laughter over follies, sobs over losses. They toasted to love's endurance. In the end, the meal served was life's banquet. Bitter truths swallowed, sweet redemptions savored. Humanity shone in imperfections, romance in resilience. Emily closed her eyes that night, heart full knowing her story, kicked out, risen anew, echoed in hearts forever changed.